Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a little while and I apologize for that, but finally back. And this time what I'm going to be doing is smoking a 10-pound pork butt. So I got a Pit Boss 1150 outside. We're going to get going. So stick around, let's see how this turns out. Alright, so I've got the Pit Boss 1150 out here. This is going to be the second time that I've smoked a pork butt on here. The first time I used Pit Boss brand competition wood pellets. I can't say I was all that impressed with them. So today we're going to be trying Bear Mountain barbecue pellets. So it's a gourmet blend, 20-pound bag. So we'll fill up the hopper and get this primed and started, and then we can go season the pork butt while it preheats. Alright, I don't know if you can see that, but right now outside it is about 32 degrees. I did just kick this on, so we'll go ahead and prime it. I think last time I used about 15 pounds, smoked for about 9 hours. Today I'm going to go 260 degrees and go overnight, so this is a low and slow. So we'll get this going. Once we get some pellets in the fire pot, we can go in and start seasoning the pork butt. Alright guys, so I am in no way, shape, or form a professional at this. This is about my second time smoking, so I please encourage any comments and suggestions on seasonings and stuff like that. So please feel free to comment and let me know what you guys like the best. But what I'm going to do today is use some mustard as a binder and just coat this real good. And I'm going to be cooking this fat side up this time. And I have washed my hands before and after, so don't worry. So I'm going to rub this and get this on real good and coated all sides. Use this to help get the seasoning to stick. And from what I'm told, and I think this is pretty good to know, is you won't really taste the mustard when this is all said and done. This just helps get the seasoning to stick, get this to adhere to it really good. By the time you get this smoked out, you won't even taste it. And last time I used Suckle Busters. It was the honey barbecue blend that I used, and I don't know if it was the blend or the pellets or both, but I just wasn't a huge fan of it. So I'm using the SPG salt, pepper, garlic from Suckle Busters. We're going to try this out today. We'll give this a nice generous coat, get this seasoning all the way around. It is going to smoke for about 9 or 10 hours, so it's not going to hurt to have this pretty liberal. And the mustard is going to help this stick, hopefully give it a nice bark, have this turn out looking real good. And please, I encourage any suggestions on this. I want to know what you experts think and what some good seasoning blends are that I can use in the future. And we'll finish here with the fat side up. I am going to be cooking this on a roasting rack just to get it up off the grates just a little bit, just to help it make it easier to transport. I'm going to let that sit for about 15-20 minutes and let it bind real good, and then that'll give us time to get the smoker preheated, and then we can throw it on. Alright guys, we're at 260 degrees. I'm just going to set this right here. So I got this on here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let this go for about 3 hours probably. Get a little nap in. And then I'm going to come back out and spritz it with apple juice. And keep it moist, keep it from getting too dry. So we're going to check in here in 2 to 3 hours. And then I'll probably get the meat probe in after about 3 hours, get it up to 165, and then start thinking about wrapping it. So I'll see you in a few hours. Alright, hey guys, we're 2 hours in. We haven't looked at it yet. Check it out and see what it looks like now. I brought out an apple juice spritzer. We're going to spray this up and keep it moist. So it's coming. It's starting to look pretty good. Not really getting a bark yet, but it's pretty early. So we'll go ahead and spray some apple juice on it. Try to keep the heat in, and we'll just check in 2 more hours, give it another spritz. We'll see you then. Alright guys, we're 4 hours in now. We haven't done anything, but boy, it's starting to smell good. I know it's kind of hard to see because it's dark outside, but I'm going to go ahead and give it another spritz. That bark's starting to get dark, starting to get pretty good color to it. I think I'm going to go ahead and put the meat probe in it. I know it's not near to 165, but so I'm going to put this meat probe right in the center. Get the lid closed. And then this 1150 has 4 meat probe ports that it'll read out. You just plug it in here, and it'll start populating your temperature right here. So we're gonna see what that climbs up to, and then once we get up to 165, put it in a roasting pan, wrap it up tight, bring it up to 205 to finish it out. So it looks like we're sitting at about 123, so we still got a little while to go, which is fine. We'll come back out in 2 hours, maybe give it a turn, see how close we are, and then see what happens. Alright guys, so it's been about 7.5 hours. I skipped filming the last one, I just put a spritz on it, but we're running right about 164 to 168 degrees, depending on where I check it with the meat probe. So we're gonna go ahead and put this in a pan and wrap it. And that is looking pretty good. The fat cap on top is starting to split open, and the bark looks really good. So I'll pull this out, pull the meat probe out, and then we'll put that back in once I get it in the foil. So once I got it in here, I'm gonna put some extra apple juice on it. Make sure we don't lose any moisture. Give it a little extra while it's wrapped up. Get some flavor. Got the snow coming down, so trying to be quick with this. I'm gonna wrap this up really tight. And I'm gonna set this back in. I am going to put the meat probe back in, but I'll be checking it here in 3 or 4 hours with another one, battery powered one, just to see what we're reading at. We got that back in. Close the door. And now we'll just wait. I'm going to give this at least another 3 hours or so before I check it again. I'll just keep an eye on the meat probe temperature. It'll climb back up. I lost a lot of heat going here, but I am going to crank the heat up now that we're not really going for smoke. We're just going to finish it off. So I'm going to go to 300, try to get that heat back up, and get this up to 205. So we'll check back in when we're getting close. Hey guys, welcome back. So it's morning, the snow's falling, and the temperature probe says that we're at 210, 208, 210. So I'm gonna take my other meat probe, my instant read, see what we're getting all across it. I don't know if you can see that, but we're right at 205, 206. So I think this thing's ready to come out. This is going in like butter, so that tells you that this pork butt's done. So I'm gonna take this out, bring it in. One big thing to note is you gotta let this thing rest for about 45 minutes. cool down, get some of the juices back in, and then you can start tearing it apart. You don't want to tear it apart right away. So I'll bring this in and come back after about 45 minutes, show you what it looks like, give you an overall review of this smoker and the meat, and we'll see how it turned out. All right, it's been about an hour. Time to go ahead and uncover this. Let it sit and cool down, let the juices come back into it. It smells pretty dang good. There it is. Looks pretty good. Got the fat cap split on the top. I'm actually going to take the juice out and put it in this fat separator. Let the fat rise to the top, and you can pull the plunger after we pull it and dump the juice back on to the meat and let it soak back in so it stays really juicy. So, moment of truth to make sure that this is done. See if that bone comes out nice and clean, which it did, just like we expected, so that's perfect. Put that to the side. I'm going to put my gloves on. I'm going to get the juice out, shred it up, and then we'll see how it tastes. Try to do this without making a mess. And all this juice, once the fat separates, we can put it back on top. Let it work back into the meat. I got a feeling this is going to be really, really good. Look at this bark right here. This just looks absolutely amazing. Got the fat rendered down. It's still smoking hot, which is good. We'll get this all. There's a good piece right there. Man, that looks great. Once I get this shredded, it cools down just a tick. I'll taste it, let you know how it is, and see how we did today. Man, look at that right there. That's perfect. That is perfect. I'm gonna save that piece for eating. I can already smell the difference. I think this Bear Mountain pellets gave just a little bit better smell than the Pit Boss that I used last time. I think once we get the juice back on here and we can let this cool down and put this on a sandwich later today, be ready for the Bengals game tomorrow. Who day. Alright, let's look at this. Let's see how this turned out, if I can get my gloves off. Alright, let's look at that. That looks pretty amazing. Got about 9-pound pork butt. So I'm going to try this bark, this piece on the edge. That is perfect. Got just a little bit of garlic, a real good smoke flavor. That turned out a lot better than the first one, but I can get some barbecue sauce on this, get it on a slider. I think it'd be really good. So thanks for watching today. If you got any suggestions, put them in the comments below. I want to see what kind of seasoning, what kind of pellets you guys use. I want to make sure we get the best pulled pork every time. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe. Go Who Day this weekend, and I'll see you next time.